Sairam students, let's begin with the second session of Geography, Class 8, Chapter number 2, that is Land, Soil, Water, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife Resources. Now, let's go through the content of the chapter once again. That is, we have in the last session we learned about land, right? Then today we are going to learn about soil. Then the next topic is water, natural vegetation and wildlife. Now, before starting with the today's topic soil, let me just tell you about the land. What did we learn in the land? We learned about the land use, the conservation of land resources. First we saw about the degradation of land, then the measures to be used for the conservation of land. Okay, then we learned about the landslides and then mitigation mechanism. Now today moving to the next topic, that is soil. In that we are going to learn about today soil, factors of soil formation, then again in this also degradation of soil and conservation measures that will be used for controlling the degradation of soil. Okay. Now moving to the first topic, that is soil. Now what is soil? The thin layer of grainy substance covering the surface of the earth is called soil, right? This is what is given here in the slide also, and what it is actually exactly, it is closely linked to land, right? And the landforms determine the type of soil of that particular area. Okay, the type of the soil is depending on the landforms that is available in that particular area. Okay, soil is made up of organic matter, minerals and weathered rocks found on the earth. Now, before understanding about organic matter and minerals, you all know, but what is that weathered rocks now? Now, what is weathering? Weathering is, now in the slide you can see a big rock is given here to you. The breaking up and decay of exposed rocks by temperature, the changes in the temperature, by frost action, by the actions of the plants, animals, and the most importantly the human activities. These all are the things that affects the weathering process, that is the breaking up of the rocks and its decaying. Okay. Then the next is the right mix of minerals and organic matter make the soil fertile. See, the fertility of the soil, you all know very well. If the soil is fertile, the cultivation, the crops produced on that fertile soil is going to be of very good quality, right? So the right mix of minerals and organic matter make the soil fertile. And the fertility of the soil is to be maintained, that is most important. Then only the cultivation done on that particular soil will be of good quality. Now here I just want to share one fact with you, the children. It takes hundreds of years to make just 1 centimeter of soil. Now in the further slides you are going to learn about this how. Now here I have given you the soil profile. Look at this, the base. What is the base here? The base has been given as the parent rock. From that parent rock, then the next layer is the weathered rock material. Weathering, just now you have learnt about the process of weathering, that is the breaking up of rock, right? Then above that, the next layer is the subsoil with sand, silt and clay. Okay, and the topmost layer where the vegetation can be done, that is topsoil with humus and vegetation. Now here, what is humus? Humus is degraded organic material that is present in soil and it helps in increasing fertility. Now after this we are going to learn about the factors of soil formation. The major factors of soil formation are the nature of the parent rock and climatic factors. Now here children, I have shared with you in the slide the different categories that are the factors of the soil formation. Now other factors are the topography, role of organic material and the time taken for the composition of soil formation. All these things differ from place to place. Now let us learn each and everything one by one in detail. Now here, the first we will start with the parent rock. Now what is the effect of the parent rock on this soil formation? See, parent rock determines the color, texture, chemical properties, mineral content, Permeability. Permeability means like it's the ability of that parent rock. It allows the fluid like water to pass through it. Then the next factor here it is climate. Now how the climate is affecting it in the soil formation. The temperature, the rainfall influence, the rate of weathering. Rate of weathering means the process of breaking up, and humus. These all are the things that affects the formation of the soil. Then the next is time taken. Time taken determines the thickness of soil profile. Now here the next is flora, fauna and microorganisms. See, flora, fauna and microorganisms affects the rate of humus formation. And you all know very well humus formation. Humus is the thing, that degraded organic material that helps in the fertility of the soil. Then the next one is relief. Then what is relief now? It is altitude and slope. The altitude and slope of that particular area also determines the soil formation. It is one of the important factor of the soil formation. It determines the accumulation of soil. Dead plants fall on the surface of the soil and decay. So the process of decomposition is helped by microorganisms that break down the organic matter when they feed on it. Now, older soil has thicker soil profile. Just now you have gone through the soil profile, right? As over time, several layers of soil has been formed, has been deposited and formed on that particular soil due to the introduction of other matter in the soil. So over time, older soil retains relatively pure characteristics of the parent rock. Now you know about the characteristics of parent rock, that is texture, chemical properties and everything. So all of these factors together results in the formation of different types of soil. Now here in this slide you can see the different types of soil, that is red soil, black soil, desertic soil, alluvial soil, laterite soil, mountain soil. Now next topic is degradation of soil. Now soil erosion and soil depletion, these are the major threats to soil as a resource. Now what is that? Human factors as well as the natural factors can lead to the degradation of soils. Now, soil erosion occurs when soil and rock particles are carried away by wind, water and deposited in another location. And soil depletion takes place when the nutrients that are present in the soil are removed and are not replaced. It affects the quality and the fertility of the soil. Now the factors which lead to soil degradation are deforestation, overgrazing, overuse of chemical fertilizers and pesticides, rainwash, landslides, floods. So these are the major factors which affects the degradation of soil. But wherever now degradation is there, see in the previous slide also we have seen the factors that are affecting the major threats to the soil, that is the soil erosion and the soil depletion, that affects to the degradation. And here we have seen the factors that are responsible for it. Now to overcome this, to stop this, we need to conserve the soil, right? Now next we are going to learn here in this topic is the methods of soil conservation. Now students, let's go through the methods of soil conservation. Now the different methods has been given here, that is mulching, contour barriers, rock dams, terrace farming, intercropping, counter plowing, shelter belts. Now let us understand each and every method of conservation in detail. First is mulching. Now what is mulching here? It helps to trap moisture in the soil and moderate soil temperature. It involves covering the bare ground. Now you can see in the image that has been given to you here, it involves covering the bare ground between plants with a layer of organic material like straw. For what it is to be covered like this? It helps in retaining the moisture. That is the reason the bare ground between the plant is to be covered with a layer of organic material like straw. Then the next method has been given here is counter barriers. Now before understanding, look at the slide, this image is given to you in the slide. What is the meaning of counter? It's like an outline or the boundary that has been given here. It refers to the barriers of stone, grass and soil built along the contours of slope. Trenches built in front of the barriers to collect water and to prevent it from flowing down the contours and washing away the soil. See, if the soil has not been washed away, the fertility will be maintained, right? So, and especially this method is used on the steep slopes that are prone to soil erosion. So looking at the images, you can understand what is counter barriers. That is, by using stones, grass and soil, the barriers are built up. Then the next method is rock dams. Now rock dams are dams that is created from piles of rocks that stacked up to slow down the flow of water. Why that piles of rocks has been kept? So that the flow of the water can be slowed down. Okay, and that will prevent the formation of gullies and further soil loss. Then the next is terrace farming. Terrace farming, see, look at this. These are made on the steep slopes so that the flat surfaces are available to grow crops. They can reduce the surface runoff and soil erosion. Using terraces also prevent the soil erosion. See, this type of method is especially used on the hilly regions, like you can say Darjeeling. There they do this type of conservation method for soil. That is, the terraces are used to make the steep slope so that the flat surfaces are available for growing crops. Then the next method is intercropping. What is intercropping here? Look at the image. Different crops are grown in alternate rows and are sown at different times to protect the soil from rain wash. Especially the main reason behind is to prevent it from the rain wash. That is the reason the intercropping is used, so that it can be avoided. Then the next is counter plowing. Now what is counter plowing? The plowing parallel to the contours of a hill slope to form a natural barrier for water to flow down the slope. That is, a natural barrier has been made by doing the contour. See, you know the meaning of contour very well. It is like the boundary. Okay, so wherever the boundary is there, it stops the flow. It is the natural barrier that has been used to for the water to flow down the slope. Then the next method here, it is given as the shelter belts. Now the another name for the shelter belts is also called as the windbreaks. In the coastal and the dry regions, rows of trees are planted to check the wind movement to protect the soil cover. The shelter belts can be found in the areas that are prone to the fast winds. Wherever the fast winds are blowing, especially this method is used in that particular regions. So children, here we have completed with the today's topic, that is soil. Now just let's have the quick recap of what we have learned in the today's session. We started with the soil, the thin layer of the grainy substance covering the surface of the earth, that is called as the soil, right? And the landforms determine the type of soil, correct? Then we saw about how the fertility of the soil, the right mix of minerals and organic matter make the soil fertile. Then you learnt about the process of weathering also. What is that? The breaking up and the decay of the exposed rocks, that is weathering. Then the next we saw the soil profile, the different layers, that is the parent rock was at the base, then the weathered rock material, then subsoil with sand, silt and clay. Then at the top we have the topsoil with humus and vegetation. Then the next we learnt about the factors of soil formation. Let us go in short about the factors. So the factors that were affecting the soil formation were parent rock, climate, relief, flora, fauna and microorganisms, and time. And the next topic we learnt about the degradation of soil, soil erosion and soil depletion. That were the two major threats to soil as the resource, right? And the natural and the human factors that were leading to the degradation of soil. The factors which lead to the soil degradation are the deforestation, overgrazing, overuse of chemical fertilizers and pesticides, rainwash, landslides and floods. Then after degradation, we learnt about the methods of conservation. The different methods were the mulching, counter barriers, rock dam, terrace farming, intercropping, counter plowing, shelter belts. Now, this is what we have completed with the main important resource, soil. In the next session, we'll be learning about the another resource, that is water. Till then, take care.